How's it going? I am Steve and this is Run SDJ, my YouTube channel, predominantly about running. I wanted to make this video for a few reasons. One of them, we'll start off on the good news story, is that in the last week I have hit 2,500 subscribers, which is amazing. It was only turn of the year that we hit 1,000 subscribers. So it took us 21 months to get to 1,000. And it's only taken us the next 8 months to get to 2.5. So pleased that we seem to be progressing well here. I say we, it's just me. I know that irks some people when I say we, so I'm gonna switch to talk about me. The other reason to make this video is there's not 2,500 people who regularly watch my update videos. There are a few hundred, and I'm very thankful for those regular viewers who keep up with my running adventures that aren't the more popular things like shoe reviews and equipment reviews and thought pieces that I do on things like training plans and that. So I thought it's important to keep you all in the loop with what's going on with me at the moment. If you have been following along, you'll already know this, but if you haven't, 5 weeks ago in week 1 of my training plan for the Amsterdam and Valencia Marathon, run 2 of the plan, I rolled my ankle very badly, in fact, and tore 2 ligaments in my left ankle, the CFL and the ATFL ligaments, and also a peroneal strain. That was 5 weeks ago. I've not ran in 5 weeks. When you're making a YouTube channel about running, you can probably understand why it's been a little bit difficult to make content when I'm not actively running. I thought I'd make this just to give you a bit of an update of what's going on. So I've had 3 physio visits so far about my injury, and I'm still on a kind of no running instruction. So I'm in kind of phase 3 of my rehab. So that rehab started off in phase 1, which was some very, very light mobility moves with my ankle to just make sure that as the kind of scar tissue was forming, it was forming in the right way. So that was things like kind of doing ankle rotations, kind of moving my ankle forward and back, and then moved into phase 2, which was some banded moves and putting some kind of weight bearing exercises onto my ankle. And then phase 3, which is what we're in at the moment, I've been doing some stuff that's been involving kind of standing on balance boards and doing some things that have kind of like been walking on my toes and then walking on my heels. All these things to help strengthen my ligaments as they heal. I have got another physio visit this week, and I'm really hopeful, though a little bit doubtful, if I'll get the go ahead to return to some at least gentle running. So the kind of time scales when I did this and spoke to the physio, they said it was kind of 6 to 8 weeks. We've done 5 full weeks, so we're entering the 6th week. So I'm hoping that we're more on the 6 week than the 8 week side. There'll still be recovery. I'm not anticipating, if I do get permission to run, I will be able to just pick up where I left off. When you don't really do much for 5 weeks, yeah, it has quite a knock-on effect in a number of ways. Keep your fingers crossed to me that I'll be able to return to running pretty quickly. Amsterdam is in about 70 days from now, so 10 weeks. That is not impossible. I'll have to realign my expectations. My expectations are already to treat Amsterdam as a B race, with Valencia being my A race. But if I do it at all, I'll purely just be doing it for enjoyment. I won't be doing it for time. It will likely be the slowest, probably by quite some way, of all the marathons. That's 3 that I've done to date, but I don't want to kind of get too ahead of myself. But there is still hope, because when I did my first marathon, around the time that I started this channel, I did a 7-week training plan with ChatGPT to get me kind of fit to do my first marathon, and I did it. The difference between that and now is that I was still running prior to starting that 7-week training plan. The difference now is that I have not been running at all for 5 weeks. So there is a lot of conditioning that has left my legs and my body in general. So the good news is the last time I saw my physio, He gave me the kind of permission to start swimming. And then also I have a bit of a background in CrossFit. I say a bit of a background. I'm not very good at CrossFit, but I've been doing CrossFit since 2017. So I'm very used to kind of using Concept 2 equipment. So the rowing machines, the ski erg and the bike erg. He said it should be fine to start kind of integrating those into my training to start allowing me to do some actual high intensity cardio. The problem was, as soon as he gave me that permission, I got hit with COVID. Yeah, that knocked me out for a week. So there was very little rehab going on, I should say. I was negative as of 2 days ago, which was a bit of a surprise. I thought it would hang around a little bit longer than that. So today I've got out and done a double session. So I went swimming at lunchtime, did 750 meters. And then tonight I went to my CrossFit gym and did a Concept 2 triplet where I did 40 calories on each machine, so that's the 3 of them, then 30 calories on each, 20 calories and then 10. So it felt horrible, I'll tell you that much, because I just haven't done any cardio for a long time. But it was great to do it. It felt like it was a long time coming. It gave me a bit of a kick in the ass, but I did it and it was good. So that's been good. A bit of a kind of rough ride, for want of a better word. Yeah, it's been pretty tough. I will be perfectly honest. One of the reasons I haven't been making videos, because there's things I could make videos about. I've got a list of things, and I made a video. I reviewed my Shocks headphones just because I thought I'd been planning on making that video for ages and put it off, and I thought, well, I'll make that because it'll get me back into the swing of making videos. So I put that out at the weekend, and yeah, it's kind of got me back into the swing of wanting to make videos. So I thought I would make this one. And if you're still around, if you're still watching after this long, thank you, because I know these aren't the most popular videos on my channel, but I know I've got a core audience of a few hundred people who I think regularly tune into these, so I really appreciate your support, and I think it's important for me, even if these videos aren't going to do thousands of views. This is kind of why I started my channel, so thank you if you watch this content and you engage with it, because it's the stuff that I like making, the kind of real world things. So yeah, a few of the things over the last 5 weeks, I've really tried to keep my like mental health in check, which has been incredibly difficult. I do suffer with quite bad mental health. I'm on kind of antidepressant medication and things, so occasionally I kind of spiral a little bit into a bit of a hole, and it's been hard to not do that. I've had a few wobbles over the last 5 weeks, but I've just been trying to focus on the positive things. You know, I've been doing my rehab, but it's been difficult. You know, I've picked up some bad eating habits. You know, I've probably put on quite a bit of weight over the past 5 weeks, because when you're bored and you can't do things, you start to snack, and then that becomes a habit, and that becomes something to do. And yeah, so I need to get out of that habit, because, you know, I'm feeling heavier, I should say, than I'm used to being. So I'm trying to snap out of that. So yeah, the mental health side of things has been a little bit tough, but I think I've done quite well on that front. I've not completely spiraled. I've had really good support from my friend group, also my wife. You know, I have regular check-ins. I have a WhatsApp group with about 4 of my best mates who were all into running, and yeah, they check in with me regularly, and that's been really good, because you kind of still feel a degree of connected. I've volunteered at parkrun a few times while I've been injured, and yeah, one of those was quite eventful, where someone kind of collapsed at my marshal post, so that was not an uneventful occasion either. So I've been trying to keep myself still in with running. It's been nice, because at my local parkrun, I was doing the finishing tokens one week, and some people at the finish were like, "Oh, are you that guy who makes YouTube videos?" And I always say, well, I'm a guy who makes YouTube videos, I'm not the guy. I think I've got a long way to go before I start referring to myself as the guy. Yeah, that's been nice. Yeah, as I say, it could have been worse. Looking at things like my fitness score on Strava has not been the best idea. it is at its lowest point. Never mind, in 5 weeks, it's at its lowest point that it's been. That chart only goes back 2 years, but it's way lower than even the lowest point over the last 2 years. So I look at that and it's quite sobering. Yeah, don't know what else to say really. What I would say is, if you aren't a current subscriber and you're new and you're watching this video, thank you very much. Investing in my story. What I will be doing is I will be getting back into doing my regular training vlogs. So we are 10 weeks out from Amsterdam, as I said earlier. So I'm going to give it a go with my training, and it's an absolute unknown if I will make it to the start line, but I will give it a go. I will be training hard, so if you want to see what it's like, someone coming back from torn ankle ligaments, and whether they can make it to the start line of a marathon in 10 weeks time, then subscribe to the channel. I'll be doing updates every couple of weeks probably about how my training is going for that. So I don't know how long this video is. Quite long. So I'll probably wrap up now. That's most of the things. I wrote a bullet point list of things that I wanted to say, and I think I've covered most of them. I didn't pick the best place to come and have a walk to make this video, given I'm currently trying to not re-roll my ankle. I'm walking through a freshly ploughed farmer's field with a lot of big pieces of mud. So yeah, so far I'm doing all right. So yeah, 2,500 subscribers. Thank you very much for that. And where we'll get to by the end of the year, we will see. But yeah, thank you for watching. Like the video, subscribe. As DC Rainmaker says, apparently the only thing that the YouTube gods care about is if you watch this video to the end. So if you've got this far, thanks very much. And loads of other content on my channel. If you're new, if you like parkrun stuff, there's loads of that. There's training plan stuff, there's marathon vlogs, other race vlogs. So yeah, plenty of stuff. Yeah, and I'm gonna sign off now. Thank you for watching. See you next time. See ya.